Hello, I'm Chris Piper, Superintendent for Troy City Schools, and I'm here to talk to you about our return to school plan. First of all, thank you to the parents who have emailed or called with questions. We know that there have been a lot of questions and concerns about what the return to school will look like. We've been working very hard on this plan and are happy to share the details of it with you today. As we go back to school, we know that there will be some inherent risks for our staff and for our students in this COVID era. We are doing everything we can to mitigate those risks while providing a great learning opportunity for our students and their families. We are finding that balance between health and safety and the inherent risks that a return to school brings with the benefit that we know school provides. We have read all of the expert opinions and continue to do so as they come out. We have worked with local experts and gotten their guidance in our plan. We have talked to our stakeholders, to our teachers, and our surrounding experts here in Miami County. So we've had a lot of input for this plan. We've thought very carefully about this plan, and we're excited to share it with you today. There are some links on the plan that you can go to if you have more questions about that guidance. For example, the Ohio Department of Education, the Ohio Department of Health, and the American Academy of Pediatrics are three of our primary sources for developing this plan. So please check out those links if you have questions. Our plan is this. Ohio has a color coding system for its counties that indicates the level of community spread of the COVID-19 virus. So it's a 4-level system in the state of Ohio. There's level 1 with the lowest possible spread, all the way to level 4, which is severe exposure and spread. One of the things we know as we return to the school next year is that we have to remain flexible and responsive to local conditions. So our plan is just that. It is one that allows us to be flexible and respond to those local conditions, tying it to that color coding system for what we see in Miami County today. So if we are operating at a level 1 or level 2, which we currently are, our intention would be to bring all students back to school every day, 5 days a week, of course following safety precautions as much as possible. If we were to move to a level 3, then that plan would transition to a blended plan, and I'm going to describe in a little bit what that means exactly. If we were to get all the way to level 4, then we would have to resort back to remote learning like we did last spring. So again, this plan is responsive to local conditions. It may change as local conditions change, and we have to remain flexible and plan ahead for what this year may bring us. With Plan A, which again is what we would do if we were at level 1 or level 2 in Miami County, we would have all students back in school daily following many health precautions and safety guidelines. Included in those are social distancing of up to 6 feet when possible, 3 feet minimum. It would also include the required wearing of face coverings for all staff and students for grades 3 through 12 whenever 6 feet of social distancing cannot be guaranteed. Students would also be required to wear face coverings on buses and in common areas. It would also include daily health assessments, and we really need parents to be our partners with this, because at level 1, we would ask that parents please check your child's possible symptoms and temperature before sending them to school. If students display symptoms of COVID or have a temperature, we ask you to please leave them at home. We don't want sick children at school to reduce the spread. But that is Plan A. Level 1 or level 2, all students back in school 5 days a week following these safety guidelines. If we move to level 3, that would be blended learning. Blended learning in a nutshell means dividing our students into 2 different groups. One group that would meet on Mondays and Tuesdays in school, so they would report to school Monday and Tuesday, and the other group would report to school on Thursday and Friday. The other days of the week, they would involve themselves in online learning with teacher support. Another part about that makes that plan possible for us is that for all of our students in Troy City Schools this year, we're going to be providing Chromebooks. So every student, grades K through 12, will get a Chromebook and is expected to take that Chromebook back and forth between school and home to support learning. Because again, we have to remain flexible and adaptive, and if Miami County changes, so does our plan, and we might kick into the blended learning model. If we got all the way into the level 4, which is the highest level for all the Ohio counties, we would then resort to remote learning. In this model, like last spring, but better because we've had a chance to learn from that, all students would learn online until we come out of level 4. So all of our students would have daily access to live teacher support. They would access lessons through their Chromebook, and other services would also continue for all of our students regardless of what model we're in. For example, food service for our free and reduced students would continue regardless of if we are in full return to school, a blended model, or even remote like we were last spring. We know that we have students with special needs, whether they be gifted English language learners or students with disabilities. Our job as a district is to continue to provide for those needs regardless of the model we are in, even if we are into this remote learning model. So our plan essentially is an ABC plan that is responsive to the infection rate in Miami County. Also, there's a different option for parents if they are not interested in being involved in those plans. For any parent, for any reason, who has a concern about returning their child to school, we are also offering the Troy Online Academy. Again, this is available to any parent, any student, K through 12. Most of our courses and many courses in our elementary schools and many of our courses in our high school will be offered through this format. And one of the reasons for sharing this plan with you today is because we need to start making some of these choices. Our plan, our ABC plan, is going to be our plan for the return to school, and then there is this other option of online learning. We have some work to do still to build this and to staff this, so we ask parents, if you are interested in this model of learning, in this Troy Online Academy, that you let us know by the link provided on this slideshow and in this presentation. That link includes more information about the online learning platform and also has a registration link within it that you can tell us that you are interested. We're asking parents to commit to this for at least a semester because, again, we have some staffing changes to make that will depend on how many students we have signed up. So we need parents to think carefully about this, reach out to us with questions you might have, but if you are interested in this online option, please follow the link and let us know. Registration for this will be open through July 31st. Additionally, we are revising the school calendar. We are moving the start of school back to Tuesday, September 8th. That will now be our first day of school for students, and this does a couple of things for us. First, it provides teachers the time to get some professional development under their belt as we return to school, because again, learning is going to look different this year depending on what model of instruction we are in. It also provides us some relief from the hottest weather. As we all know, many of our buildings here in Troy are not air conditioned, and wearing a face covering can be challenging when buildings are hot. So pushing the start of school back to September 8th provides some relief for that. We may invite students back for diagnostic testing before the return to school on September 8th. There are things that we could also do, like pass out Chromebooks during that time. So stay tuned for more information on what that might look like. But there's a possibility of bringing some students back for a partial day to get some of that done. The school year will still end as it was scheduled before on Thursday, May 27th, before Memorial Day. And as we move through this school year, if we have any calamity days this winter, heaven forbid, but if we do have some and we have to close schools for any reason, weather-related, COVID-related, or anything, we will ask students to access their lessons online. So we won't have any calamity days with no school. It'll be online lessons instead. That's the gist of the plan, but please be assured that there are many safety precautions we're putting into place and many things we've considered. We have a task force working on enhancing our cleaning and sanitation procedures. We know that we have to provide staff with health assessment training. We have several school procedures to change in terms of how we're going to give lunches or how we're going to move through hallways as we approach the start of school. But we are doing everything we can to make sure that staff and student safety is our top priority, as always. School is going to look different, but it's going to be a high quality experience, and our teachers are very excited to get students back in their classrooms. One of the things that we have to ask parents to be partners with us in as well, and one of the challenges that we face as we move into this new education and COVID era, is how do we achieve social distancing? And that's a real challenge on school buses. So we're not ready today to ask for that information, but in the near future, we're going to ask parents to let us know if they have the ability to transport their child to school. For those that can't do it, that live outside of our radius and that would typically ride a bus, we'll still provide that service, but we're still trying to work out how we can accommodate social distancing on buses. So parents, If you are able to transport your child to school this year, stay tuned because we're going to ask for that information in a later survey. And as much as you can partner with us on that, we very much appreciate. We know that was a quick synopsis of our plan. We have a lot more material online to answer questions. If you have more questions, please go to our website to check out those resources and where we got that guidance. And if you have other questions, you also have the opportunity to join me for a live virtual coffee chat via Facebook. We're going to have 2 of those on Monday, July 27th at 9 a.m. and again at 7 p.m. to accommodate different schedules. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to email us at info@troycityschools.org or call us here at Central Office. Again, thank you for those that have reached out with your messages of support and with questions you've had. Hopefully this helps answer some of those questions, and we look forward to hearing from you and also look forward to seeing your students as we return to school. Thank you.